When Allah takes care of someone, it does not always look the way we imagine. We think care means ease, comfort, and constant reassurance. But Allah's care is far deeper than that. Sometimes His care appears as restraint, sometimes as delay, sometimes as silence. And very often, His care is hidden from the eyes of people, but deeply felt in the heart of the one He is protecting. Today, I want to speak about something very specific. Not success, not marriage, not productivity. I want to speak about the quiet signs that Allah is caring for a woman. Signs that are not loud. Signs that are not performative. Signs that most people misunderstand and many women overlook in their own lives. If you recognize yourself in these signs, do not rush to feel proud. Feel grateful, because Allah's care is not random. It is intentional, and it comes with responsibility. When Allah removes people from a woman's life without asking her permission, it often feels confusing before it feels comforting. At first, the heart interprets distance as rejection. Silence feels personal. A relationship fading feels like failure. She starts to question herself. Was I not enough? Did I say the wrong thing? Did I misjudge people again? This inner questioning is natural, but it is not the truth. The truth is that Allah sees the full picture, while we only see the moment. We see companionship, history, familiarity. Allah sees influence, direction, and outcome. He sees how certain people slowly drain your iman, weaken your self-worth, normalize what should never be normal, or anchor you to a version of yourself you were meant to outgrow. And because Allah is caring for this woman, He does not wait for the damage to become obvious. He acts early. Sometimes the removal is gentle. Conversations slow down. Priorities shift. The bond weakens naturally. There is no dramatic ending, no clear explanation, just distance. Other times, the removal is sharp. Conflict appears out of nowhere. Words are said that cannot be taken back. A door closes suddenly. This is the kind of separation that hurts deeply because it feels undeserved. But pain does not mean injustice. Pain often means surgery, not punishment. One of the hardest lessons for many women is understanding that good feelings do not always mean good outcomes. You can care deeply about someone who is quietly harmful to you. You can love people who are not aligned with your values, your growth, or your akhirah. Allah does not remove people because you are weak. He removes them because you are being protected from staying attached out of emotion rather than wisdom. If Allah had left the decision to you, you might have kept making excuses. You might have said, they didn't mean it, or I can handle it, or I don't want to be alone. You might have tolerated disrespect, emotional confusion, or spiritual stagnation simply because letting go felt harder than staying. Allah knows this about the human heart. He knows how attached we become to what is familiar, even when it slowly harms us. That is why His care sometimes overrides our choices. A woman under Allah's care begins to notice a pattern. The same type of people keep exiting. The same emotional lessons repeat. And eventually she realizes that Allah is not randomly taking people away. He is refining her environment. He is teaching her discernment. He is showing her that access to her heart, her time, and her emotional energy is not something everyone deserves. This kind of removal also teaches a woman to shift her source of security. When people leave, she is forced to confront where she was placing her emotional safety. Was it in friendships, in validation, in being needed or wanted? Allah removes people so that reliance returns to where it belongs. Not because people are evil, but because they were never meant to carry the weight of being your anchor. Another subtle aspect of this sign is that Allah removes people quietly, so the woman learns not to seek closure from creation. Not every ending comes with an explanation. Not every departure comes with accountability. Sometimes Allah closes a chapter without allowing a final conversation because the lesson is not in what they would say, but in what you must accept. Closure, in these moments, comes from trusting Allah's decision, not understanding it fully. Over time, a woman who is under Allah's care develops a different relationship with loss. She still feels sadness, but she no longer feels panic. She no longer begs people to stay at the cost of her dignity. She no longer chases clarity from those who chose distance. She begins to say, if Allah removed them, then there is khair here, even if I cannot see it yet. This does not make her cold, it makes her grounded. She becomes selective, not suspicious, open-hearted, but not careless. She learns that people are temporary by design, while Allah is constant by promise. And this realization brings a deep form of emotional maturity. Perhaps the most important part of this sign is that after people leave, Allah fills the space in unexpected ways. He replaces noise with clarity. He replaces chaos with peace. He replaces dependency with strength. The woman may not gain new people immediately, but she gains herself. She gains time to heal, to reflect, to rebuild her relationship with Allah without interference. Eventually, she looks back and realizes that the people who left were blocking doors she did not even know existed. Their absence created space for growth, for better companionship, or simply for inner peace. What once felt like loss now feels like mercy. This is why this sign is not abandonment, it is protection. Allah does not strip a woman of people to make her lonely, He removes them to make her safe. And when a woman truly understands this, she stops asking, why did they leave? And starts saying, Alhamdulillah, Allah is taking care of me. When Allah is caring for a woman, one of the clearest internal signs appears quietly, not outwardly. Her heart no longer tolerates what it once ignored. Things that used to feel normal now feel heavy. Words that once passed easily now sit uncomfortably in her chest. Actions that were once justified now disturb her sleep. This sensitivity does not come from fear of people, it comes from awareness of Allah. At first, this change can feel frustrating. She may wonder why life suddenly feels harder, why she can no longer go with the flow, why she feels guilt so quickly, even for things others brush off. She may compare herself to others and think they seem lighter, freer, less burdened. But what she is experiencing is not restriction, it is refinement. Allah does not allow the hearts He is caring for to become numb. A numb heart can sin repeatedly without feeling consequence. A protected heart cannot. Sensitivity is not weakness. It is a sign that Allah is actively shaping the inner world of a woman. He is teaching her to listen to her conscience before her ego, and to her faith before her desires. This sensitivity often shows up in subtle ways. She may feel uneasy in certain gatherings without being able to explain why. Certain conversations drain her instead of entertain her. Jokes she once laughed at now feel inappropriate. She may even feel uncomfortable benefiting from something that is technically allowed, but spiritually distracting. This is not overthinking. This is alignment happening at the heart level. A woman under Allah's care begins to experience guilt as a guide, not a punishment. Guilt becomes a signal, not a sentence. It pushes her to pause, to reflect, to correct herself early before patterns form. Allah could have allowed her to drift further away before waking her up. Instead, He interrupts her early. That interruption is mercy. It is important to understand that this sensitivity does not mean she is sinless. She still makes mistakes, she still struggles, but the difference is that she does not feel at peace with disobedience. Sin does not feel casual anymore. It feels heavy, even when no one else knows. This is a sign that Allah is watching over her heart more closely. Many people misunderstand this stage and assume something is wrong with them. They think they have become too strict, too serious, or too emotional. In reality, Allah has raised their internal standard. He is preparing them for a deeper relationship with Him. A heart that is sensitive is a heart that is alive. This sensitivity also teaches a woman accountability without shame. She learns to say, "This does not sit right with me," even when she cannot articulate it perfectly. She learns to walk away from things that disturb her soul without needing external validation. This builds spiritual confidence. She begins to trust her inner compass, knowing that Allah is guiding it. Another aspect of this sign is that repentance becomes easier, tears come quicker, dua becomes more honest. She no longer delays returning to Allah after a mistake. She does not justify her actions endlessly. Instead, she turns back quickly because distance from Allah feels uncomfortable. This discomfort is not anxiety, it is love. Allah softens the heart of a woman He cares for because a soft heart returns faster. It breaks, but it heals. It feels pain, but it grows. A hard heart may appear strong, but it is disconnected. A soft heart feels everything, including the closeness of Allah. Over time, this sensitivity reshapes her choices. She becomes more intentional about what she watches, listens to, speaks about, and tolerates. Not because she is afraid of slipping, but because she values her peace. She realizes that protecting her heart is part of protecting her faith. This stage also brings loneliness sometimes. When your heart changes, not everyone can walk with you anymore. But Allah replaces that loneliness with depth. He fills the space with reflection, understanding, and a stronger sense of purpose. The woman begins to feel seen by Allah even when misunderstood by people. A sensitive heart is not meant to be hardened again. It is meant to be guarded. Allah gives this sensitivity to women He wants close to Him because closeness requires awareness. You cannot be close to Allah while ignoring what distances you from Him. If a woman notices that her heart no longer feels comfortable with sin, even in small forms, she should not suppress it. She should honor it. She should protect it. Because this sensitivity is not self-generated. It is a sign that Allah is actively caring for her inner world, guiding her gently but firmly toward Him. And when Allah cares for a woman's heart, He is not limiting her life. He is preserving her soul. One of the most misunderstood signs that Allah is caring for a woman is delay, not denial, delay. And this is where faith is truly tested because delay feels personal when you believe you have done everything right. You prayed, you grew, you corrected yourself, you waited patiently. You told yourself, "I am ready now." And still, what you want does not arrive. This is where many women quietly break inside. They start asking questions they never voice out loud. Am I being punished? Is Allah displeased with me? Did I misunderstand His signs? Did I waste my time preparing for something that was never meant for me? These thoughts are painful, but they are also human. However, they are not accurate. Allah's delay is not a reflection of your worth. It is a reflection of His care. When Allah is caring for a woman, He does not rush her into things simply because she feels ready. Readiness is not only emotional or spiritual, it is also situational, circumstantial, and unseen. Allah sees layers you cannot see. He sees consequences you cannot predict. He sees how one small shift in timing could save you from years of pain. A woman may feel ready for marriage, but Allah sees the state of the other heart involved. She may feel ready for relief, but Allah sees how the struggle is still shaping something essential within her. She may feel ready for answers, but Allah knows that clarity too early would weaken her trust rather than strengthen it. Delay is one of Allah's most precise tools of care. What makes this sign particularly difficult is that delay often comes after growth. A woman expects reward after effort. She expects ease after patience. But Allah does not always reward immediately, because immediate reward can sometimes undo the lesson. When Allah delays, He is not ignoring effort. He is preserving its impact. Another painful aspect of delay is comparison. She sees others receiving what she has been praying for, people who seem less prepared, less careful, less intentional. This comparison can quietly poison the heart. But what she does not see is that Allah's care is individualized. He does not give everyone the same path because not everyone has the same destiny. Some people are given early so they can learn through loss. Others are delayed so they can be protected from it. A woman under Allah's care begins to slowly realize that not getting what she wants immediately is often what saves her from becoming attached to the wrong version of it. She may want marriage, but Allah delays it until it comes with peace instead of confusion. She may want stability, but Allah delays it until it does not replace her reliance on Him. She may want clarity, but Allah delays it until her heart is strong enough to receive it without arrogance or despair. Delay also exposes intentions. It reveals whether a woman wants the blessing more than she wants Allah, or Allah more than the blessing. This is not a test meant to humiliate her. It is a test meant to purify her attachment. Allah cares deeply about where a woman's heart settles when things do not move. During delay, Allah often gives smaller gifts that go unnoticed. He gives emotional strength, He gives insight, He gives boundaries, He gives the ability to walk away from what once tempted her. These are not replacements for what she wants, they are preparations for it. A woman who is not under Allah's care may get what she wants quickly, but without grounding. A woman who is under Allah's care may wait longer, but when the door opens, it opens cleanly, without regret, without unnecessary wounds, without asking, why did I rush this? There is also a mercy in not knowing how close something is. If a woman knew exactly how long the delay would be, she might either lose hope too early or stop striving too soon. Uncertainty keeps her returning to Allah. It keeps her dua alive. It keeps her humility intact. Delay teaches a woman to separate urgency from importance. Not everything important needs to happen now. Some things need to happen right. Allah is not governed by impatience. He is governed by wisdom. Over time, a woman under Allah's care begins to change how she views waiting. She still feels longing, but it no longer controls her. She still hopes, but it no longer defines her mood. She learns how to live fully, even while something remains unresolved. This is a powerful form of emotional and spiritual maturity. Eventually, when Allah does give, the woman often realizes that if it had come earlier, she would not have been able to hold it properly. Her reactions would have been driven by fear, desperation, or dependency. Delay was not empty time, it was shaping time. This is why delay is not cruelty. It is protection disguised as patience. Allah delays because He cares too much to give you something before it can be a mercy instead of a test. When a woman understands this, she stops asking, why is Allah withholding this from me? And starts asking, what is Allah preparing me for? And that shift changes everything. Allah does not delay out of neglect. He delays out of precision. And when He is caring for a woman, He would rather make her wait than let her be harmed by something she asked for too soon. One of the least understood signs that Allah is caring for a woman is when He shields her from attention, admiration, and visibility that she did not actively seek. In a world that constantly tells women their value lies in being noticed, desired, and chosen, this form of protection can feel like neglect. It can feel like being overlooked. It can quietly hurt. But this protection is deliberate and it is powerful. Many women assume that being unseen means being unworthy. They internalize silence as rejection. They believe that if they were truly valuable, people would pursue them more, praise them more, or fight to keep them close. But Allah does not measure worth the way people do. When Allah cares for a woman, He is far more concerned with her safety, her sincerity, and her heart than with her visibility. Attention is not neutral. It shapes identity. It feeds ego. It creates pressure. It invites expectations. And not all attention is meant to bless. Some attention distracts. Some attention corrupts intention. Some attention attaches a woman's sense of self to how she is perceived rather than who she is before Allah. Allah shields certain women from this because He knows what it would do to them at that stage of their life. Sometimes this protection appears as being ignored in spaces where others are celebrated. Sometimes it appears as proposals that never materialize. Sometimes it appears as not being chosen publicly, not being praised loudly, not being admired openly. And the woman may ask, "What is wrong with me?" Nothing is wrong with her. Something is being preserved. Allah protects a woman from attention when that attention would pull her away from herself, when it would make her perform instead of live, when it would push her to compromise her boundaries to maintain approval, when it would make her start shaping her choices around being liked rather than being aligned. Attention can be intoxicating. It can make a woman forget her limits. It can blur her standards. It can make her tolerate things she would otherwise walk away from, simply to avoid losing validation. Allah knows this vulnerability in the human heart. And when He is caring for a woman, He guards her from becoming dependent on being desired. Another hidden danger of attention is that it invites comparison. The more visible a woman becomes, the more she is measured, evaluated, and judged. Her life becomes a topic. Her choices become commentary. Her struggles become entertainment. Allah shields some women from this exposure because He knows their hearts need peace more than praise. This protection also applies to romantic attention. Not every man who notices a woman is meant to approach her. Not every interest is honorable. Not every attraction comes with respect. Allah often prevents certain connections from forming, not because the woman is lacking, but because the intention on the other side is not clean. When Allah blocks attention, He is often blocking harm that the woman cannot yet see, harm to her self-worth, harm to her emotional stability, harm to her future. He is sparing her from confusion disguised as affection. A woman under Allah's care may also notice that when attention does come, it is measured, it is respectful, it does not overwhelm her, it does not demand performance. It does not pressure her to be someone else. This is not coincidence. Allah controls not only who enters your life, but how they enter. There is also a spiritual reason for this protection. Attention can shift intention. When people start watching, hearts start adjusting. Actions become less sincere. Worship becomes quieter or more performative. Allah shields a woman from unnecessary attention when He wants her relationship with Him to remain pure and undistorted. Obscurity in this sense is not a lack, it is a shield. It allows a woman to grow without an audience, to heal without explanation, to obey Allah without distraction, to build substance instead of image. This does not mean the woman will remain unseen forever. It means she is unseen for now, while Allah works on her internally. And when Allah does bring her into visibility, it will be with stability, not insecurity, with clarity, not confusion, with grounding, not ego. Many women look back later in life and realize that the periods where they felt invisible were the periods that saved them from the wrong relationships, saved them from emotional burnout, saved them from becoming attached to a version of themselves that was driven by approval instead of purpose. Allah does not expose everything He loves. He protects it. When a woman understands this, she stops chasing attention. She stops measuring herself by who notices her. She stops equating silence with failure. Instead, she begins to trust that if Allah is withholding attention, it is because He is providing protection, and that protection is not small. It is the kind that preserves dignity, sincerity, and peace. It is the kind that allows a woman to stand firmly in who she is, even when no one is watching. This is not neglect, this is care. And when Allah shields a woman from attention she did not ask for, He is telling her, without words, that her value does not need an audience to exist. One of the clearest signs that Allah is caring for a woman